my name's Tutu. I work for DHL Supply Chain. We've got our own Go Green plan. We actually work quite closely with M&S and Plan A and everything else. We've done our baseline where we've got our targets, but what we're finding a bit difficult at the moment is being able to come up with an efficiency measure for the carbon. So, you know, you measure it and then you target the reduction. But when you've got such a wide business, it's being able to roll up all of that into one single efficiency measure. And I don't know if anybody else has come across anything like that, especially you, Jim, from working with different businesses.
Jim, do you want to take that one?
It's thank you for the question. It's a very important question, and it's one I think which a lot of businesses are finding quite a challenge, is how do you sort of aggregate, if you like, all those efficiency measures. I don't think there isn't a single answer. I mean, there are different businesses have done it in different ways. I'm delighted to have a chat with you afterwards about maybe pointing you in the direction of some of those businesses. But on the Mayday website, for example, there are examples of how each business who's part of that network has measured their performance, and so it's quite useful to have a look at some of those. BT, for example, have a particular approach on the way that they're looking at their overall carbon. Marks and Spencer itself actually has an approach. I don't know whether you've had a chance to talk in detail with them, but it's certainly worth maybe having a chat afterwards about how we might sort of help to unlock how to do that most effectively. But as I say, I mean, there isn't a sort of a single answer to that one, I'm afraid.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions out there? Okay. Perhaps Nigel, perhaps you could answer this one. I wonder how much. Obviously, you've done lots of work. The whole Mission Zero strategy is an important one. How much of that do you put down to winning new business? How do you gauge your success in that respect?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. We often get asked that. It's almost, I would say, impossible now for us to extract Mission Zero from our organisation. So it's an integral part of what we do. Now, when in the 1990s we started on this path and Ray stood up and he had his epiphany, even within our own organisation there were sceptics, but he did that because of the weight of questions that we were getting from customers in the marketplace, and that's 16 years ago. And over the years that we've been developing our programs and developing our sustainable principles, more and more clients are becoming more aligned to the issues, environmental issues that are around in the world at the moment, and are starting to ask us questions like, what's your carbon footprint? How much recycled content is in there? What are the life cycle analysis? And you can track periodically over time the complexity of the questions. And to pick the earlier speaker up, the earlier question up, the complexity of the questions are getting very, very detailed now. We supply to Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's want chapter and verse on the impact that our products have within the environment. And so to bring it round full circle, answering your question, Tom, I think when we first embarked upon it, it was visionary and we expected it to be beneficial in terms of requests from our clients. Now our salespeople are demanding more and more information about what sustainability has done for us and what we can deliver to our customers. And that, I think, is a very important point when you look at the kind of tipping point that we've reached in sustainability circles. Now, some of the programs that we've developed in terms of just fundamentally eliminating waste from our business, removing landfill from our sites, investing in green technologies for electricity, removing CO2 emissions from our factory, all that adds tangible value to our business at the bottom line. And we're now using all that work we've done over the last 16 years to demonstrate proof of principle to our clients when we actually talk to them about what we've actually achieved and what we can help them achieve in their business.
Thank you, Nigel. Let's have another question, sir, in the second row there. Thank you. Again. Okay.
Hi, it's Neil Scotton from Coaching Professionals. What are the biggest challenges for you as leaders in making this happen? I'm seeing increasing clarity around the sort of strategies and the how-tos. But for yourselves as leaders, what are the biggest challenges you're facing in making this happen, making it real?
Yeah, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, go on, go.
I think it's keeping people engaged. I think it's quite easy at the beginning. And I think the biggest challenge is to keep moving it forward and to keep all of your staff going with you, to keep it fun, instead of it being, you know, somebody's given a job to tell people off when they do things which aren't right, to kind of make it push the boundaries forward. And I think you do it really well in getting people to come up with ideas to grow the business, and that's been one of the lovely things for us, is people have become part of the success of our business, and I'm very proud of it being a great place to work. So it's keeping it fun, I think.
I think it's also important to look at how it can touch your business as a whole. You know, not focusing on one pet issue or one project that then you know, doesn't consider the impacts on the other areas of your business. So approaching it as a whole business issue and getting the whole management team involved is important.
Nigel?
I think thinking about it from the outside inside now, one of the dilemmas we are facing in our organisation, having been on this path for such a long time, is there's lots and lots now of our competitors in the industry now doing similar things, talking about it in a similar way that we are, and creating competition in the marketplace that means that we have to significantly improve the way we educate our account managers, our customer service people, because they are now dealing on the front line on a day-to-day basis with the competition throwing numbers at them and figures at them that in the past they've never had to handle and deal with. So that complexity now for us is the next big challenge. It's a broader education and a deeper understanding with our customer-facing people in the marketplace, and that for us is the next big thing we have to crack.
Jim, what about your members?
I think, well, if I could talk just as within the organisation, within business in the community, as opposed to perhaps, you know, from the members' point of view. I mean, I think one of the challenges for us is that we cover a very broad spectrum of issues, social and environmental issues, and there is, I think the challenge is understanding what the balance between those. So when you're having to make a decision, when you're having to advise other businesses to make decisions based on those sometimes conflicting issues, where do you put the weighting? You know, so for example, in my area, we talked earlier on, climate change is hugely important, carbon reduction is hugely important, but resource depletion is hugely important. You know, we are going to run out of resources, we know that. Social issues, the issues of you know, deprivation or of lack of education, lack of opportunities, all these things are hugely important. So it's about, one of the issues for us is how to find the right balance, I guess. So that's something which we are learning, as well as helping to provide advice as well. So.
Okay, thanks, Jim. We are going to have to wrap this session up now, so please join me in thanking our panel today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.